Good morning. I am at Juknokwon Bamboo Forest, and I'm on my way between Jeonju to Gwangju, and it's quite nice here. It's not bad. There's really no literature. Everything's in Korean, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to actually talk about this place, other than the fact that it's 3,000 won to get in, and they maintain it really well. Now, I will say, ironically, that when I was coming in, they actually had all this construction work going on at the very front, so much so that I entered the park and then got turned around by an old man to say, hey, go pay for your ticket to get into the park. At least that's what I assume he was saying, because I just entered the park going, okay, is it free? And then he comes running up behind me and goes, hey, you got to go do this. And so, he made me dial the number to track me, and then went up to the window to pay for my ticket, and then he took my temp and all that. But so far, this place has been quite stunning. I just crossed this pretty little bridge, and I have noticed that there are a lot of fighter jets flying overhead, so this might be another place where they have an Air Force base nearby. But yeah, all these little kind of Hanuk homes, and the way that they have the paths set up is really pretty so far. But I'll check back in a moment, see if I can find anything that I could actually read and kind of report on. And welcome back. I was looking for the main gate. Ended up on the top of this hill. At least that's, I forgot what it was called, but they called it a hill, so it's not a mountain. But I'm at the peak, at the very tip top. Just walked up. It's funny because it has this board that has all these items that you should see in these directions, but because the bamboo and the trees are so thick, you can't see anything. So it's pretty. I'm not going to deny that, but I mean, all you see really are trees. Maybe there's windows in the trees every now and then, but other than that, you just see all these bamboo. Bamboo's a grass, so bamboo and trees, right? Anyhow, it's pretty neat. I think I'll take a couple of photos here and then head on back down into the main part. I think about time to get going here. Anyhow, check back in a moment. And I've made it down the mountain, or the hill, back to the main portion of the bamboo forest. I've been translating the signs, the billboards that they have up, or posting boards, info boards, to kind of see what they say about the areas, and they're all over the place. One was talking about how this area, this garden, was created in the Joseon dynasty area, and then another was just talking about how in the 1920s a famous singer came here and created one of these houses that actually some guys are playing kind of an older game in front of right now, a Korean cultural game in front of right now, that's about throwing a stick into a bucket. I've actually seen it at quite a few different traditional culture centers now, so it is quite the popular game. It doesn't really give all that much information other than that, so at least I don't trust the translations 100%, right? Because it's not in the natural language. As I kind of step out here and I'm walking back around looking at all the paths, which I definitely didn't take any or all of the paths. I took only 2. I'm kind of happy with what I've seen, and I think if you really wanted to go at it and go at all the paths that they have here, probably be 2 hours. Since I'm only doing selected paths, really I'm coming up on about a little over an hour right now, and I'm perfectly happy. It's kind of in my way, since I'm American and I can't read Korean, more of the same, unfortunately. I'm sure if I could read it and understand all the signs, that I'd want to spend a little bit more time here, but I feel that I got my 3,000 won's worth, and I was able to take some photos as well of myself, which is kind of nice. The area is gorgeous. It's totally worth coming to, but I'd do a split the difference type of deal and say that you only need to spend an hour and a half here if you really want to get a real feel of the place. And other than that, I did run into the fact that they do have a hotel here that you could stay at, which is pretty crazy. And it has this thing called the Hanok Experience Center, which is currently closed. Also, that house that I was talking about earlier that the famous singer created that had the cultural game in front of it. Typically they have like cultural experiences at that house, but at this time, because of COVID, all of that is at limited capacity, so only that game is available. So they're not running at full capacity, which may change how much time I would suggest staying here if they were. All that being said, I'm quite happy with what I've seen and what I've walked around and experienced. You know, they have like different type of bamboo furniture laying all around. They have that cool walking path on the pond that they created. Everything is satisfactory, for lack of a better word. And I think that I'm totally happy with what I've seen here, and I'm ready to move on. So, all right. Until the next video. And as always, I'm cutting back in. Even though I already ended this video, I just wanted to make mention. So, right behind me right there, that's the ticketing house. And like I said, at the very beginning, I walked right by it not even knowing that I had to pay in order to get in. Or that was the ticketing house. That's where I got stopped. But right in front of it, to the left side, which is kind of off kilter, like you wouldn't walk over here naturally, I feel, unless you came through that ticketing house. And I actually walked into the bamboo area immediately. But the point being is right here in front of me is the Damyang Chusong Memorial. And it's a memorial that was founded in 1592 in kind of memorandum memorial against the Japanese Imperial armies that came under Toyotomi Hideyoshi in the first part of the Imjin War that happened here in Korea. This is here because of General Gyungmyeong-go, supported by a force of 6,000 men, gathered here to create the army that would successfully repel the Japanese invaders. With this in mind, Damyang County, which is the county I'm in, decided to restore this memorial, and it stands as a reminder for patriotism, the spirit of patriotism and righteous action undertaken in defense of the realm is literally what's written here. But it helps give local residents its pride and loyalty to its country. It's kind of interesting because, like I said, it's off to the side, so I just noticed it as I was walking out. And if I didn't turn around to take one last glance, I wouldn't have walked over here. It's pretty neat. There's like really 3 sections to it. There's the first section, which is kind of this like 2 buildings really after a gate, and the building to the right is closed, so I don't know what that is, but the building to the left is a like a museum type deal. It's all in Korean though, and even the video is in Korean with Korean subtitles. So for me, that was a real quick walk. I can't read anything. They had like, this is a musket, this is a sword in English, but I mean, you could kind of tell by just looking at it, right? And then beyond that, I don't know what it is, but it's like a really fancy house. Again, all of it's closed because of COVID, I think. And then the third section has kind of that, like a real nice pavilion in the middle of a lake with a bridge that goes over it 2 times. One goes to the pavilion and the other actually is perpendicular to the pavilion, but does not touch the pavilion island at all. And then the other 2 culture things are, again, the stick throwing thing and some sort of swing, but I actually don't know what it is because I've actually not seen it before. This is the first time. I'm surprised I haven't seen it on a variety show. It looks like something that would be great for it. Just this last bit, the Chusong Memorial was completed in July of 2012 to commemorate the ancestors' noble dedication to Korean sovereignty. Pretty funny. But that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and head on out. I think lunchtime's next, so until the next video this time.